Hey, I was cooked out of a box. Now let's see what fancy garbage I got going on here. I am currently playing Danmachi. We had a 6-round tournament for our win a box, and our Quints player won a Quint box, so I'm proud of that. So first we'll start off our level zeros with my very spicy inclusion. My very spicy inclusion being the Eyes stock bombs. And a really great turn one play, especially in a meta dominated by Hololive with their stupid aquas. So you can just field this in mid lane, swing, do your fun things, and they can't really field their aquas here without side attacking, in which case you'll gladly take the trade because it'll deny them as much value as they can possibly get. Now, because we're running this, you can guess that, hey, maybe we are running both choices. That's a lie. I am only running the level 3 choice combo because why would you run really any other level 1 combo, because this combo grabs Torch. So that whole package is too much worth to put in. So another great turn 1, turn 2 play is this part-time job Hestia. She is on play, top check 3, grab an event, and if you do, discard a card, and also locks a thing. It freezes a thing down for a turn. So if you're playing against standby, which this deck is really good against, you can play this down throughout the game and just keep locking down level 2s, level 3s, whatever they decide to put down that they want to bring up next turn. And it's also just a really good filtering tool level 0 and 1, because level 0 and 1, you kind of want to filter rather than characters, you want to filter for events. And those events are going to grab you all of your characters. Obviously, I also run the qualifications of a Hero Bell. Most decks will run 4 of this. I do not like this as a turn 1 play, but I do like it in specific matchups like with Ruby where they have Neon Cat. But what it essentially does is at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1, clock yourself from deck, and then bounce this and something else on your field back to your hand. So normally the interaction you want is play Hestia, resolve her effect, play Bell, attack, and then next turn bounce to hand so you can resolve Hestia's effect again, because it's on play and not on death like a lot of other characters of that archetype. And it also has a second effect where you can pay 1, sack it, and grab a card that I am not playing. Run 3 of the Hestia, best brainstorm in the set, and does allow you extra filter every time you play an event. We are playing 12 events, and every time we play an event, you can draw and discard 1. This really helped, even though I am not playing choice or pants, and I am playing choice, it really does help me get into my climaxes to just draw into them. And then, speaking of climaxes, we have a climax swapper. She kind of serves double duty in this one, because climax swappers you want to add anyway, but because we're only running 5 yellow cards, aside from my level 3 combo, her other on-play effect to freely level swap any card from your level and grave really helps this deck out a lot, but I haven't really needed to use it just yet, because you don't really need yellow until super late game, so normally by then you can level Sock Bomber, but other than that, if I need her, I need her. Moving on to level 1s, we are playing this funny little lad, Bell, and he has the best flavor text in all of the set, AA, etc. On attack, he gains plus 15 for each card named Firebolt in your grave. Firebolt is an event where you play it, you salvage a character whose level is equal to or lower than the number of your level 1 combo Bell in grave. So if you have 3 Bells in grave, you can grab a level 3 or lower. If you have no Bells in grave, you can grab a level 0 or lower. So generally with this deck, you'll This is a deck you want to keep looping your climax combo, because whenever you place your climax combo, you grab a Hestia Knife from your deck or waiting room, and Hestia Knife essentially is just a very restricted torch from Goblin Slayer. So you check up to 4 cards from top of your deck, grab a character, discard the rest. From my playing experience in both Goblin Slayer and this deck, generally, unless you know you have next to no climaxes in deck, 3 is probably the safest number, because 9 times out of 10 that I played it, the 4th one was always the climax. And that climax combos with the door, 1k1, when you trigger it, you grab a character. One of the best triggers in the game. It's really good that it's the best combo in the set. But those aren't the only level ones we're running. We're also running this Turf War Wealth. Everything named Pyongkichi, which is this 1/1 event, gets -1 cost, so you would play them for free. And Pyongkichi is an event that says you can play it to grab a character from your discard, add to hand, and then give a character plus 4k, which really helps a lot when you're a 1k1 deck running against a bunch of wall decks. Another effect Turf War Wealth has is you can pay 1, tap him, and look at up to X cards on top of your deck, where X is the number of Pyongkichis in your grave plus 1. So if you have 3 Pyongkichis, you check top 4 for level 1 or higher. Have 4 Pyongkichis, check top 5 for level 1 or higher. Don't really use it too much, but it does definitely come in handy because it can grab one of your 12 events just from his own ability. We don't run any level 2s, but we do run 4 of the Hestia early play. And Brestia's early play condition has having another copy of the Brainstormer in your clock. So essentially, once you have, normally like most decks, once you have like your 1 Brainstormer on field, every other copy is essentially dead. This card allows it so that when you have another copy of your Hestia in your hand, you can clock it, draw, and you can early play her. Now on play, she does heal from the bottom of your clock. So if you just happen to clock the Hestia Brainstormer that turn, and you want to field multiple, you can heal from the bottom without immediately healing off your Hestia. And while on play, she gains 500 for each of your other characters, so she essentially sits at 11k. And normally most decks don't really run this many of an early play. I am doing it because I am running the Choice level 3 combo. And this Ice, she's just on play heal, and climax combo is on attack, pay 2, and check the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck for each, and then you can either rearrange or discard any of their cards. So what this is really good is it's not really a burner, but what it can do is top check, and if you see any climaxes and you're just like, nah, I don't want my opponent to cancel, I'm just going to discard them, and then you swing to your opponent for 3 to 4. Now, in this deck, I am running Choice Trigger, but I am only running 8 cards with trigger icons. Now, the reason I do this is because with this deck, unlike Goblin Slayer, where you want to use your Hestia Knives really defensively, in this deck, you kind of want to use them more offensively because you want to start decking yourself out to get as many Firebolts in your grave to make your bells as big as possible, so you can beat over as big walls as you want. And because you essentially deck yourself out every other turn, whenever you trigger a Choice Trigger, 9 times out of 10, you'll have one of these 8 cards in your draw to be able to stock or grab. Because this deck is very good at retaining hand size, 9 times out of 10 you'll stock either a Brainstormer or an Ice. Not a Brainstormer, early player and Ice. And because we are running very few Choice Triggers, it honestly makes this finisher a lot better. Because most of the time you'll have 2 to 3 of these on field and maybe 1 or 2 in hand. That leaves only 3 Choice Triggers to worry about. So when you top check your opponent and let's say you discard 1 climax, 9 times out of 10 you're only going to swing for 3, and that's pretty much throughout the entire game. So even if your opponent doesn't have any climaxes and you swing for 3, it's a very safe type of Mocha because you dig deeper, and especially in this deck because you don't have as much chance to overswing. Once you can confirm, all right, in these top 3 cards my opponent doesn't have climaxes, I'm basically gonna win. And that is pretty much the deck. I like to actually give a shout out to our Quince player who won by essentially trading pretty much all these cards for me after I traded him a bunch of Hololive cards. So yeah, I got a free deck essentially. So thank y'all.